Breaking news, Chargers fans. Today, we're diving into two rising stars for the Los Angeles Chargers who are already turning heads. First up, Kendra Lambert-Smith. He's been lining up with Justin Herbert and the first-team offense, and trust me, this guy looks like he's ready to make an impact from day one. Smooth routes, quick cuts, and a confidence that screams playmaker. We also got a glimpse of Trey Harris, explosive, sharp, and catching everything thrown his way. Both of these young receivers could add serious firepower to this Chargers offense. But before we jump deeper into their highlights and break it all down for you, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and don't forget the bell icon so you never miss the latest Chargers updates. Now, let's get back to the big news. Now, picture this. Lambert-Smith lines up, runs a crisp corner route, fakes the defender inside with a sharp head turn, then cuts back outside to the sideline. It's classic, smart football. The defense was in a one-high safety look, but KLS still found his window. The best part? He sold the move so well that the DB was left trailing. His back turned to the quarterback, the perfect setup for Herbert to take the shot. When the ball's in the air, the defender has no clue it's even coming. And then boom. Justin Herbert drops an absolute dime right in the bucket. Kendra Lambert-Smith adjusts mid-route, hauls it in, and picks up over 20 yards. That's the kind of chunk play that changes a drive. What excites me most isn't just Herbert's accuracy, it's KLS's ability to adjust, track the ball, and make those tough catches look easy. This is exactly what the Chargers need, reliable route running mixed with pure playmaking. Now back to KLS. On another play, he's lined up running a go route. Here's where it gets fun. As a quarterback, the first read is always the safeties. This is what's called a yes-no read. If the safety stays deep, maybe you check it down. But if he bites, it's a yes every single time. Take that deep shot. And that's exactly what happened. The safety came down, the middle of the field opened, and Herbert didn't hesitate. He gave KLS the one-on-one chance, showing just how much trust this offense already has in him. When your QB is giving you the yes read in these moments, it means you're quickly becoming a go-to guy. At first, I thought this kind of play would go to Trey Harris, or maybe even Quinton Johnston, before his injury. But instead, the Chargers put their trust in Kendra Lambert-Smith. Why? Because of his body control, his wide catch radius, and his ability to make tough grabs. So Herbert lets it fly, right to KLS in the end zone. He nearly pulls off a spectacular one-handed catch, but the defender makes a great play, getting just enough of a hand in the way. Sometimes, you just have to give credit to the defense. Still, it showed one thing. The Chargers believe in KLS enough to give him these high-pressure opportunities. And let's pause for a moment to praise Justin Herbert. That throw? Absolute perfection. Pinpoint accuracy. Herbert is simply a different breed. Later in the game, we did see some risky throws, like one from Taylor Heinicke. He launched a go ball down the seam with a deep dig route across the middle. Now, here's the thing. When linebackers are sitting in zone coverage, their eyes are glued to the quarterback. Most QBs will stare down their target, which makes life easy for defenders. Unless you're facing someone like Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, who can manipulate defenders, you're playing with fire. On this play, it was KLS on a deep dig at the bottom of the screen, with Trey Harris also running a route. The defense read it perfectly, and it became a teaching moment. Quarterbacks can't afford to give defenders that kind of clue. This play was designed as a clear out, sprint the outside route, drag the safety away, and open the middle. On paper, it's perfect. But in reality, the linebackers are staring straight at the quarterback. That means they know exactly where the ball is headed, and they crash the window fast. Now watch what happens. The throw goes into a crowd. Yes, the route comes open for a second, but there are too many defenders waiting. That's a hospital ball, and KLS, being a competitor, still goes up for it. He takes a shot, steps out for a bit, looked like a stinger, then comes back. Tough kid. But you don't want to put your receiver in that spot. The fix? Treat zone like zone. Don't force the dig. Add a third route to the right, something like a wheel or a quick flat, to hold those free defenders. Create spacing. Give the QB a safer outlet, and make the linebackers choose. Quick note before we switch. We're about to dive into Trey Harris. And yes, he looks sharp. Let's roll. We're staying locked in on the Chargers all preseason and beyond, breaking down offense, defense, and player highlights. And right now, it's time to shine the spotlight on Trey Harris. Here's a play that really stood out. Harris lines up, angles his release on a diagonal, and then snaps into a slant across the middle. The design is simple. Pull the defender wide, open a lane inside, and attack the space. It works perfectly. The linebacker bites just enough, and Harris bursts through the gap with separation already created. Taylor Heinicke drops back, fires, and Harris secures a clean 13-yard gain. Smooth, efficient, and exactly what you want from a young receiver. Then comes an even more interesting look. At first glance, the defense is showing zone, possibly a Tampa 2, maybe cover 3. The safeties hold deep, the corners press, but then flip their hips away from the quarterback, and the coverage starts to mix. On the backside, it even looks like man-to-man against KLS, while the rest holds zone responsibility. That's what makes it tricky. It's a blend. But what matters most? The dig route opens up. Harris finds space, settles in, and once again shows he's ready to contribute right away. This is the kind of moment that shows just how close a play can be to breaking wide open. KLS runs his route with precision, inside release, gaining leverage on the defender's hip, and cutting across the middle. The ball comes his way, but it's just slightly off. If that pass had been led a little better, we'd be talking about a massive gain. Still, the route running? Beautiful. That's why KLS is already earning trust in this offense. Now let's flip to Trey Harris. He runs a crisp stop route against a one-high safety look. The cornerback shades inside with a couple yards of leverage, perfect for this design. The back shoulder throw is the answer here, and the quarterback knows it. The pass could have been a touch cleaner, but Harris adjusts, makes the catch, and turns it upfield for extra yards. That's the kind of detail that separates a good route from a wasted one. And then, another highlight with KLS. Lined up against press man coverage, the read is all about the safety. If that safety bites inside, space opens up for the deep ball outside. It's a classic risk-reward play, and exactly the kind of moment that shows how much confidence the team has in KLS to win those one-on-one battles downfield. Trey Lance takes the snap, eyes locked on the safety. First step inside. Boom. That's the signal. There's no room for error here. Lead the receiver inside, and it's an interception waiting to happen. The ball has to go outside, tight to the sideline, and that's exactly what happens. Lance fires a perfect strike, and KLS shows off insane body control, twisting in midair, adjusting, and hauling it in. That's not normal. Plays like this are why KLS feels special. The kid is making highlight grabs no matter who's throwing the football. Herbert, Heinicke, Trey Lance. It doesn't matter. Put it in his area, and he's making something happen. Honestly, I was surprised he was still on the field that late in the game, but it shows how much the coaches want to see him in every situation. And right now, there isn't much to complain about with this wide receiver group. Between KLS, Trey Harris, Quinton Johnston, Keith Allen, and Vlad McConey, the Chargers have serious depth at the position. Speaking of Harris, here's another look. He runs a clean slant over the middle. The read is simple. Check the safety, then attack the leverage. The defense gave him cushion, inside was open, and the QB didn't hesitate. 12, maybe 13 yards, easy money. Harris seemed to do this 4 or 5 times in the game, just carving up space and moving the chains. Here we go, another yes-no read from Trey Lance, and it's executed beautifully. Watch the safety inch forward as the crosser develops over the middle. The moment he commits, the read flips to the outside, one-on-one with Trey Harris at the bottom of the screen. That's the matchup you want every time. Harris is built for these moments. Big frame, long arms, and the ability to shield defenders like a power forward boxing out under the basket. Lance sees it, trusts it, and lets it fly. The release wasn't perfect, but Harris makes up for it, fighting for position, creating late separation with a little hand battle, and pulling in a spectacular grab all the way down to the 1-inch line. So close to 6 points, but still an incredible play. What stood out most here wasn't just the catch. It was the control in the air and the confidence to win a contested ball against tight coverage. Plays like this are why Trey Harris is going to see the field a lot this season. Pair him with Kendra Lambert-Smith, Allen, and the rest of this deep receiver group, and the Chargers suddenly have one of the most intriguing young wideout units in the league. And that's where we'll wrap it. Harris and KLS both proved they're ready for real snaps. If they keep this up, expect them to make an impact right out of the gate.